In today's world, we're taught that the pursuit of wealth is the ultimate goal, the pinnacle of success. We're bombarded with messages telling us that if we just earn more, buy more, or achieve more, we'll finally be happy. But what if this endless chase is in fact a trap? What if the constant pursuit of more is not the answer to a fulfilled life, but rather the very thing keeping us from it? In this video, we're diving into the idea of the wealth trap, exploring why the endless chase for money might be doing more harm than good, and how adopting a different mindset can lead to real, lasting fulfillment. Let's start by breaking down what we mean by wealth. Most people think of wealth in terms of material success, money, assets, the accumulation of property, or the luxury to buy anything they want. Society often measures a person's worth by their financial status, implying that the more you have, the better you must be doing in life. But the Stoics saw things differently. They believed that true wealth had little to do with external possessions and everything to do with internal stability. To them, wealth wasn't about owning things. It was about having the mental and emotional resilience to handle life's ups and downs without being dependent on external rewards. Consider this: if your happiness is tied to money, you're constantly at the mercy of something outside your control. Money can be lost in an instant, a bad investment, an economic downturn, an unexpected expense. If wealth alone defines your self-worth, what happens when that wealth disappears? The Stoics taught that real freedom comes from within, from building a life based on values that cannot be taken away by outside forces. They viewed true wealth as the ability to live in harmony with nature, to embrace simplicity, and to value what truly matters: character, wisdom, and peace of mind. There's a quote by Seneca, one of the great Stoic philosophers, that captures this idea perfectly. He said, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." In other words, the desire for more is what keeps us feeling poor, no matter how much we have. This craving can lead to a cycle of constant dissatisfaction, always chasing the next milestone or possession, only to find that it never quite feels like enough. This is the trap of wealth, the illusion that more money will bring more happiness. But in reality, the endless pursuit can leave us feeling emptier than ever. So why do we fall into this trap? Part of it is due to societal pressure. From a young age, we're conditioned to believe that success equals financial gain. Advertisements, social media, and even our peers reinforce the idea that we should always strive for more. We compare ourselves to others, measuring our worth against their possessions and lifestyles, without stopping to ask if that's what we truly want. This comparison game can make us feel inadequate, driving us to chase wealth just to feel validated, rather than because it genuinely aligns with our personal values or goals. Another reason we get trapped in the chase for wealth is fear of missing out, fear of not being secure, fear of failure. Money, in our minds, becomes a safety net, a buffer against uncertainty. And while financial security is important, an excessive focus on wealth can make us anxious, constantly worrying about losing what we have or needing more. The Stoics argued that the only way to truly be secure is to cultivate inner stability, a mindset that doesn't rely on fluctuating external factors. In other words, if we can learn to be content with less, we gain freedom from the anxiety that comes from trying to protect what we have. In this endless quest for wealth, we often overlook the real cost of constantly striving for more. It's not just a financial cost, it's emotional, mental, and even physical. Think about the long hours spent working, the relationships that take a backseat, and the constant stress that wears on us. We sacrifice our well-being in the hopes that one day we'll reach a point where we can finally relax and enjoy life. But when we tie our sense of worth to accumulating wealth, that one day never comes. There's always another goal, another achievement, another level of success to reach. The Stoics believed that the true measure of success is not in how much you have, but in how much you can live without. This doesn't mean rejecting money or comfort, but rather understanding that these things are tools, not the source of happiness. Epictetus, another prominent Stoic philosopher, taught that external wealth should be seen as something indifferent, neither good nor bad on its own. What matters is our attitude toward it. When we treat money as a means to an end rather than the end itself, we can start to break free from its hold on us. One practical approach the Stoics offer is to practice voluntary simplicity. This doesn't mean renouncing all possessions, but rather choosing to live with less and seeing how it affects your sense of well-being. By deliberately simplifying our lives, we realize that much of what we think we need is, in fact, optional. This exercise builds resilience, as it reminds us that we are capable of adapting and thriving without constantly acquiring more. It shifts our focus from what we lack to what we already have, fostering a sense of gratitude and contentment. Another concept the Stoics valued was that of eudaimonia, often translated as flourishing or living in accordance with virtue. True wealth, they believed, is found in living a life of purpose, aligned with our values, rather than in material accumulation. When we focus on developing our character, our courage, wisdom, and integrity, we create a kind of inner wealth that is immune to external changes. This inner wealth becomes a source of strength, guiding us through both good and challenging times without being swayed by external circumstances. Imagine the freedom that comes with detaching from the need for constant financial gain. Instead of working tirelessly to meet someone else's standard of success, we can invest our time in things that truly matter to us: relationships, personal growth, experiences, and meaningful work. This doesn't mean we stop caring about our financial well-being, but that we approach it from a place of balance and intention. We no longer feel the pressure to chase status or possessions because our sense of worth isn't tied to them. In the end, the Stoic path to wealth is about redefining what it means to be rich. It's about shifting our focus from external markers of success to internal values that bring lasting fulfillment. By recognizing the traps of the wealth chase and choosing a life of purpose, simplicity, and gratitude, we can find a deeper sense of wealth, one that no amount of money can buy. And this, the Stoics teach us, is the ultimate freedom. So the next time you feel the urge to chase after more, take a step back and ask yourself, what am I truly seeking? Is it more possessions, or is it peace of mind? Because, as the Stoics knew all too well, real wealth isn't measured by how much you have but by how much you can live without.